So what are my 4 tips for buying real estate in June here in Dubai 2024? So I have these conversations every single day with clients from all over the world, and I thought if I could put it in this video, so at least it gives you an idea as to what you should be looking for. So we're all reading in the papers online, listening to marketing and real estate agents from Dubai saying how strong the Dubai real estate market is, and we're just getting really, really excited, and we just want to throw our money at property. But there is definitely some properties you want to be looking at way more than others, and I am going to give you the 4 tips for what you want to be investing in or buying this June. So first and foremost is definitely looking for new master communities. So what is a new master community? It's actually like a mini village, right? So we have developers like EMAR, for example, that has launched a new community recently called The Heights, and it's a community that will have its own villas, townhouses, apartments, a school, gym, everything on site, gated community. So this is like a new master community. So when you're at day one of a new master community being launched, you're going to do well if you invest in that property and you hold it until launch. There is no point buying thinking you're going to flip. Trust me, you do the best when you hold the property from launch until handover. Now, I'll also say, going hand in hand with new master communities launch, if you do miss the launch, because you have to understand they are very fast. Most of my clients cannot comprehend the velocity of transactions here in Dubai. I mean, it took me a couple of years to get it. And it's hard for me to sometimes explain to you, my clients, that, you know, if you don't put down a check and a passport in the next 48 hours, you won't get a unit. People think that's being all salesy. It really isn't. It's Dubai real estate. It is crazy. Think about it. We have 197 nationalities from around the world wanting to buy one of 400 units. That's not a lot, right? So it is crazy. But going on the same point, tip number 1 with master communities, it doesn't hurt to also buy from the secondary market on a master community if you're still early on. And I've got some great ideas and options. You can also check through some of my videos here on YouTube. Press that subscribe button and it will give you more ideas. And of course, let's get in touch. Let's have a chat. In the description below, you've got my details, how to call me. So that's tip number 1, master communities. Tip number 2, is it any townhouse or villa? Right now in Dubai, we just simply don't have enough townhouses and villas. Since after COVID, where we changed our lifestyles, we want more space for our family, for working at home, we want gardens, we want outside areas. We don't want apartment living anymore. And Dubai never really built enough townhouses and villas. So they're all doing well. I mean, I bought a property April of last year and I've made 100% return on my equity. That means I have doubled the money that I put in on the property I personally purchased, and that was in under 12 months. So I can also help you do that because that's a townhouse. But you can also do that even faster depending on the developer, with villas. So look for townhouses and villas wherever they are, whether they're selling launch, whether they're selling secondary market. That's definitely a great option. Now, tip number 3 is renovating. Now, there's some of you that just won't have the patience or the time or, you know, the know-how, and that's fine because there's others of you that do. So in Dubai, you know, we don't have a lot of villas and townhouses, but what we do have, a lot of them are getting older. And when I say old, you know, we're a young market. So I'm talking sort of villas that are 7 years to 20 years are old here in Dubai for us, okay? So, you know, different materials we use are not as modern. We're in 2024. We want modern, you know, smart homes, and obviously we didn't have that when they were first built. So a lot of people are also looking for opportunities in renovating townhouses and villas. But what I will say is that you have to have the cash up front fully. If you are not a resident here, you can get a mortgage up to a maximum of 60%. Generally, it's 50%. Check out my video here on non-residence mortgages. Look in my YouTube channel for that video as well. If you're a resident, you can buy more. And then you buy this property simply because we just don't have enough villas, we don't have enough townhouses. You renovate it and then you put it back on the market. I have a friend of mine who has been in Dubai working for nearly 20 years. He may or may not be watching, and he bought a property, renovated it. So he bought it at, I think, 4.2 million a year and a half ago, renovated it, sold it on at 7 million. So there is potential in that, but of course everybody is starting to do that, and we don't have that many villas, and the entry point to buy the villa in the first place is not low. I mean, you need to be looking at least, if you want a detached villa today, anywhere, even if it's 20 years old, as horrifying as it sounds, because prices have gone up so much, you need to really be looking at spending 7 or 8 million dirham if you're lucky to grab the property. That's a detached villa, and most of them are usually sort of up to 15 million. And then you renovate them, you landscape them, you put them back on the market, and I mean, depending on which community and location, you can do very, very well. So that's the third tip. So renovation, okay? And the very fourth tip, for those of you watching thinking, well, I don't want a house or a townhouse, Lucy, I want an apartment. Right. So first and foremost, if you want an apartment, I will generally say that we have so many apartments in Dubai that you need to be really careful about why you're buying an apartment and what you're buying an apartment for. If you want a 1 bedroom to lock up and go, and it's for you, your family, a holiday home, you might put it on Airbnb, then that's one thing, okay? But if you're looking for an apartment because in your head, you come from your country, and in your country, you know, let's imagine I'm English, so I'm going to talk about England, for example, right? So in England, in the last, 1,000 years, it was never normal or the trend to build apartments, right? We all had houses and homes. We didn't have apartments. So to the British mindset, we're like, ooh, that's really new and different and quite like easy to handle, an apartment, and we don't have many in England. That's what everyone buys when they invest. But actually, it's the exact reverse in Dubai, because we have too many apartments in Dubai and we don't have enough townhouses and villas. So you have to change what you already know about your own market, but don't bring that to the table when you're coming to a brand new region of the world where it's all done differently. So I say to a lot of my investors who are coming here, they say, I want to buy a property and an apartment and I want the yield. But I say to them, well, look what I did. I bought a townhouse and I doubled my money. Yes, I had to put a little bit more down, but it's literally much faster an appreciation. And my property's not even ready yet. I haven't even received yield yet, because that won't be for another year until I get the keys. So just an appreciation, I've made way more than somebody could have done by putting a 1 bedroom apartment on the market for 10 years of rental income. So do you see? So you might have to enter in slightly higher, but the rewards are much larger. So be wary of, do you really want an apartment for the yield, or is that just what everybody else says and that's what you think you should do? Again, I urge you, call up your realtor. You're very welcome to call me up. We can have a chat about what it is that you intend to do. How long do you want to be in this investment? Do you want to be in it for 5 years? Do you want to be in it for 10 years? What's your budget? Let's look at that together. So there's my four tips, keeping it simple for June. So tip number 1, look at beginning of master communities and launches, but also buying from somebody already got from launch is not a bad thing. I did that. I've still doubled my money. So I can help you with that. Number 2 is anything townhouses and villas. You simply can't go wrong right now. We just don't have enough in Dubai. Thirdly is renovation properties. And I'm talking villas and townhouses only for renovation. I'm not talking apartments. I am talking only townhouses and villas for renovation, because it's your property. You can walk around it. You don't have neighbors above you and below you. But that's a whole different kettle of fish if you're looking at a renovation in an apartment building. We can have a private discussion about that, but I would not recommend you do that. And fourth, by no means last, was obviously, I said, if you're going to buy an apartment, just be very wary. Think about, do you really want an apartment, or is that just what everybody else says? And what I wanted to go on and say from that is, if you absolutely have to buy an apartment because you don't like house living, you don't want a garden or anything, then you need to be really careful that it's a ready property. If it's not ready, it's got a really good payment plan, and it must be in a good community. And I cannot stress that enough. I've had 2 more owners today call me. They never bought with me. and they're literally like desperate to get rid of their unit. They can't make the payments, the unit's really late, and their money's just tied up, and they're like, why did I even buy this property? And I said, well, if I'd been your realtor, I wouldn't have sold you that in the first place. So remember, not everything is equal in Dubai. Not everything is equal anywhere you buy real estate in the world. So the best thing is to have somebody here on the ground who lives here, breathes real estate day in, day out, and can hold your hand. And remember, you can buy real estate from anywhere in the world. You do not need a bank account. We can do the whole process for you. We did it in COVID, and we can do it for you. And don't forget, press the subscribe button here in this channel. On the description below, you'll see my details, and I look forward to chatting to you and helping you get on the ladder in Dubai before it takes off without you this June. Take care. Bye-bye.